Hello everyone, welcome to our OLC Q&A panel and a special welcome to our lovely panelists. I'd like to take a moment to thank our event organizers for putting this event info session together. Thank you to those joining us and to those watching the event recording later on. I would like to remind everyone that the session is going to be recorded and can be viewed later at humber.ca/orientation. This Q&A session was created by the orientation team within Student Success and Engagement to showcase the tips and tricks for understanding the Online Learning Center at Humber and what they have to offer for all Humber students. My name is Ben, I use the pronouns he, him, and I am the Student Life Facilitator with the Humber Orientation team. We're happy to have you all here and watching online, but before we start, I would like to conduct a land acknowledgement. Humber College is located within the traditional and treaty lands of the Mississaugas of the Credit. Known as the Dobokok, the place of the Black Alders in the Michisagi language, this region is uniquely situated along Humber River watershed, which historically provided an integral connection for the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and Wyandot peoples of the Ontario Lakeshore and Lake Simcoe Georgian Bay regions. Now home to people of numerous nations, Etobicoke continues to provide a vital source of interconnection for all. At this time, we invite you to visit native-lands.ca as a starting point to reflect on your relationship with the land that you are currently on. A link for this will be provided in the chat below. As settlers, it is important for us to recognize the ongoing colonialization that deeply impacts Indigenous peoples. Land acknowledgements and the struggles of Indigenous peoples that they face do not exist in past tense or in a historical context. It is easier to deny Indigenous people their rights if we historicize their struggles and simply pretend that they do not exist today. We also encourage you to think about how we can move beyond acknowledgement and towards building relationships with people whose territory that you are on, and to think about how you can support the process of reconciliation. The Equity and Student Life Department's work is guided by the principles of equity and is committed to integrating Indigenous ways of knowing, learning, and being. It is important to recognize that within the Equity and Student Life Department, the goal of our programming is to move past land acknowledgements and create services and events that come from anti-oppressive frameworks. Thank you all for this space, and a big thank you to our moderator and panelists. I will now hand it over to Nikki, our moderator for today's event.
Thanks, Ben, for the introduction and land acknowledgement. As Ben mentioned, my name is Nikki. I use the pronouns she and her. I work for the orientation team, and I'm also a Humber student. Thank you so much for joining us online. Before I get started with all of the questions, I'll want to pass it on to our panelists, and maybe you can give a 30-second or 20-second introduction about yourselves.
So I'll go first. Hi, my name is Keisha Ellis. I'm a student support advisor here at the Open Learning Center. I go by the pronouns she and her. And a fun fact about me is that I have been ziplining upside down in Mexico. So we had the opportunity to flip upside down, and me and my friends thought it would be cool. So yeah, I've been ziplining upside down. So hands free, just legs up in the air and glide across the forest, basically.
Hi, everyone. My name is Miriam. I go by the pronouns she and her. I am a student support advisor here at the Open Learning Center. And a fun fact about me is that pizza is my ultimate comfort food. All facts about me will always be related to food. So
Food is awesome. We always talk about food too. So I have a handful of questions, and then if anyone has any questions at the end, they can comment them below. But let's get into some of the questions. So the first question that I have here is, what is Blackboard, and why is it important for students to know what Blackboard is?
So basically, what Blackboard is Humber's main learning management system. Blackboard is your online portal. So this is similar to if you've experienced any online learning in high school and elementary, it's similar to Google Classrooms or Desire to Learn. Okay, so basically what Blackboard is a portal that you're going to get your online resources for. So you'll be able to contact your instructor and work with fellow classmates through Blackboard. Okay, so, but why is it really important? This is where you're going to get all your information. This is where you're going to get your journal articles. This is where you're going to get your PowerPoint slides. This is where you're going to do your test assignments and quizzes, maybe even do your final exam in Blackboard. So it's very important that you understand the system or understand how to navigate the system, because this is the tool that you're going to be using on a daily basis and throughout your academic semester.
That's really helpful. I feel like when I first started, I wasn't too sure what Blackboard was, and I kind of figured it out on my own. So it's really good to meet other people that can help me out here.
Definitely.
The next question I have is, how do I log into Blackboard?
Okay, so how do you log into Blackboard? So the actual URL to log into Blackboard is learn.humber.ca. So that's learn.humber.ca in order to access Blackboard at Humber College. So what I'm going to do actually, I'm going to share my screen with you guys and show you the login just to give you an example. So just give me one moment while I do that. Okay, so you would go to learn.humber.ca. So this is the Humber single sign-on login page. This is the same login page that you use to log into your My Humber account. Now, this is the same login page that you'll use to log into Blackboard. Now, if you're a student prior to 2014, you might have a username of a combination of letters and numbers, or just letters. If you're a student after 2014, you'll have your N number, your student number as your username. So it'll be N followed by 8 digits, okay? And if you require your password reset or require this information, you would actually have to reach out to the IT department and they would be able to assist you further, okay? So this is what it actually looks like. And then once you click on sign in, so now it's just logging into Blackboard learning environment. So there you go. So then you'll be logged into Blackboard. On your left-hand side, you'll see an institutional page that will take you to other resources at Humber College. Under courses is where you can find your courses, organization information, course messages, grades, and tools. So I'll stop sharing my screen now. And hopefully that was a little bit helpful to show you what it looks like.
I think being able to see it is always very helpful, especially if you're a visual learner like I am. So that was really good. I'll move on to our next question is, when will my courses show up on Blackboard? And if I can't see a course that I registered for, where can I find it, or who do I ask for help?
Okay, so your courses usually populate in Blackboard 2 to 3 days prior to the course start date. For example, if your course was starting, let's say, next week, Monday, on May 31st, your courses will populate in Blackboard roughly around this week, Friday, which is May 28th, or this week, Saturday, which is May 29th. So courses only populate 2 to 3 days prior to the course start date. Now, how do you find out if you are registered in a course and your course start date? There's a couple of things you can do. One is to double check your My Humber account, because a lot of times what happens with students, they don't realize that the course start date might be a later start than the beginning of the term. So if you go into your My Humber account and check under registration, you'll be able to see when the course start date is. And if the course start date is May 31st and it hasn't populated on Friday, then you would contact our department, the Open Learning Center, and we would further investigate that situation for you.
That's really helpful. I think I didn't know where to check for when classes start later or if they don't start at the beginning of the term, so that's helpful to know.
Yeah, and also I'd like to add that courses also, after your course end date, you lose access to Blackboard. So 2 weeks after the course end date, you lose access to Blackboard. So students that we do encounter with, we do let them know that. So if you have any assignments or any type of PowerPoint slides that you would like to download for your academic journey, you need to download that content prior to those 2 weeks ending, because you won't be able to regain access. So 2 weeks after, pull any content that you think you're going to need for future.
That's really good, especially like keeping assignments is really helpful because you can show them to your peers and show them to future employers about, hey, this is what I worked on. So it's good to know that it times out after 2 weeks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'll go on to the next question, which is, what are the most important features on Blackboard and how can I familiarize myself with them?
So I'm going to hand it over to Mary.
So I'll go ahead and I'll answer the remaining questions. Thank you so much for that question. So it is important to familiarize yourself with all of your Blackboard courses because each course is designed differently based on the instructor's discretion. So at the beginning of each semester, at the beginning of your course, we encourage all students to spend some time browsing through their course and getting to know what course menu options that your instructor has made available to you. And keep in mind that each one of your courses may look very differently. So you don't have to worry if you see discussion board in one course and then you don't see it in another. Each course is designed differently. However, the main key features that we encourage students to get very familiar with and that we consider the most important are the announcements. So this is where your instructor will be posting the most important notifications for you, whether that is an upcoming test, exam, or if there's a class cancellation, anything of that sort your instructor can make available on announcements. And the second thing is critical path. So that's essentially your syllabus. This is what your course schedule is. This is where your instructor will be posting what you'll be learning week by week. If there's a grade feature, your instructor can also include that as well. So it's great to know what to expect in your course and what your expectations are from the instructor. And lastly, Blackboard Collaborate, which we are using here, which is a real-time video conferencing tool. So it's essentially like your virtual classroom where we can share applications, we can share our webcam audio. It's a great way for instructors and the classmates to connect with each other during this pandemic especially. It's a great tool that's been made available for students to not lose that real-time interaction with their instructors and have the opportunity to ask any questions or to get to know their learning materials a lot better.
Yeah, those are all very important tools. I think that's some of the tools that I use the most, actually. I'm always like checking the announcements to make sure I didn't miss anything. Yeah, that's really helpful. The next question I have is, there may be students in different time zones. How do they know if their classes are recorded, and how do they access recordings?
Yeah, so there are times where we have students that are in different time zones, but whether you're in a different time zone or you are in the Eastern Standard Time Zone, we always encourage students to reach out to their instructor at the beginning of the semester, at the beginning of their course, and ask them to make the recordings available, because it is to the instructor's discretion. So the moderator of the session has the opportunity to record that session and make it available for the students. So always reach out to them, let them know, hey, I am in a different time zone. It would be really beneficial for me, for my learning in this semester, to have these sessions available so I can access them based on my time zone, and instructors are always more than happy to assist with that. But where to find it, there's two ways. Either your instructor can make it available for you on your Blackboard platform so they can upload that file, or I'll just demonstrate really quickly how you can find it yourself on Blackboard. So just give me one moment, please. So I hope you are able to see my tab. So essentially, this is what your course can look like. On your left-hand side here, you'll have your course menu. When you go on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra, this is where you will be accessing your scheduled sessions. At the moment, I obviously don't have any scheduled sessions, but you'll always see, for example, if your instructor has a class scheduled for you at Tuesday at 10 a.m., this is where your link will be available. But to find the recorded session, you're going to select this menu option up here, so the 3 lines. When you select that, you'll see your name at the top and then recordings. So this is where you can find any recordings that your instructor has made available, and you can view them by clicking on them. If for any reason you're not able to select or click on the recording and it's not playing for you, please feel free to contact us at the Open Learning Center, and we'll be more than happy to walk you along the steps or any permissions that are not made available to you via Chrome or any of the browsers that you're using.
That's super helpful, because before I didn't even know where to access recordings. It took me some time, so I wish when I first started out someone told me where the recordings were, because I was like, oh, there's live classes, but where's the video?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, it's really important, especially when you are in a different time zone. It's a really helpful tool.
Yeah, I think so too. The final question that we have before we get into answering any questions in the chat is, where can students find help and helpful resources for learning online?
Yep, so for the online resources, we have our website, our main website, which is humberonline.ca. So I'll just share my screen with you again, so just I can walk you guys through what humberonline.ca looks like and where you can find all of our information. So this is humberonline.ca. When you log on, you will see that the first 3 tabs may not be as applicable to students who are already enrolled in courses. However, the last 3 options are very helpful. We will start here with the online journey and support. Under there, you'll see there is Blackboard FAQ, Blackboard support, LinkedIn Learning, which I'll talk about a little later, Proctor Track, digital tools, and workshops. So when you go on online journey and support, you can see that we have our Blackboard FAQ. This is where we essentially have our most asked questions. So basic questions such as where do you access your course? Once you do access your course, if there's any other tools that you might need. So tips for learning online and all of that. But the main tab to go on would be your Blackboard Blackboard support. So this is where you'll find information in regards to your specific course. So Blackboard Ultra is what we're using at the moment. Like, this is a great resource for students to use after hours. So this is after the Open Learning Center is available for assistance, or if you just need a really quick question that you may have. So under your Blackboard Ultra, you will see that there's different questions that you may have, like getting started, learning materials, communication, and community. So you can go through those different tabs and see different resources and different articles that we have made available based on the most frequently asked questions. And along with that, I would like to point out that we do have a YouTube page that is available. So it is Humber OLC. You can type that into your YouTube search bar and you'll find that. But along with that, via Blackboard Inc. themselves, they also have great resources made available as a video format for students to follow along if you are someone who just wants to get into the video and not contact anyone. But besides that, once we go back onto humberonline.ca, under the Contact Us tab, you will find our hours of operation. Along with that, any important closures that we may have. So we just had the long weekend, so we had that posted on there. Online telephone support and our email address. Also in the left bottom corner right here, we have a live chat, which is available during our hours of operation. So if you're ever in a class or if you're ever in an environment where you're not able to communicate via phone, feel free to use our live chat option as well. I'm just going to quickly touch on a LinkedIn Learning resource that we have available for students. So generally there is a fee associated with using LinkedIn Learning, but as a Humber student, it is absolutely free. LinkedIn Learning is a great online platform where you have thousands of online videos on different topics, and they are all taught by industry experts, and you can access that using your Humber credentials, and it is absolutely free. So just down here, we have some examples. It could be anything from Photoshop to accounting to coding, anything of that sort. It is all available for free, and what you can do is you can actually complete these courses and get them listed on your LinkedIn. So this is a great tool when you are looking for jobs, whether it has anything to do with your program or not. You can do any of the thousands of videos and get certified in different topics, and this is a great way for students to expand their resume and just their experience and knowledge in general. And this is also available once you graduate, so it's always available once you are a Humber student, and you can use it with your Humber credentials. I'll just show you a really quick demonstration of how you can access. Once you go onto humber.ca/LinkedIn Learning, you'll just scroll to the bottom and select this option which says log into LinkedIn Learning. And then when you are redirected to LinkedIn Learning's main page, it will show you this page. And at that point, all you need to do is type in humber.ca, nothing more. So what this will do is this will redirect you to a Humber's login platform. So when you go on to continue to Humber College, you can go ahead and you can type in your username and password, and it'll automatically log you into your LinkedIn Learning page. And it will also give you the option to link it to your existing LinkedIn page or create a brand new LinkedIn page. So this is a great resource, and we encourage all students to use this. It's a great platform for you to expand your knowledge and experience. And if you ever have any questions in regards to LinkedIn Learning, please feel free to contact us, and we'd be more than happy to walk you along the steps of how to access it.
That's amazing. I haven't used LinkedIn Learning yet, so I'm definitely going to after this. So that's really helpful to walk through. Thank you.
No problem.
So I'm going to open the floor to any questions that students in the chat may have. So I'll give that a couple of seconds, but while I'm waiting in case anyone is typing up a question, I just wanted to thank both of you for joining us and for all of your really helpful information. I feel like I've learned a lot today.
You're welcome. You're most welcome.
That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having us. And yeah, you're more than welcome. And if anyone has any questions besides what we've answered, please feel free to contact us, humberonline.ca. You'll find our contact information on there.
Amazing.
And I'll just type that into the chat so everyone has that available. And along with that, I will put in the LinkedIn Learning
link as well.
Yes.
Thank you.
Amazing. So I think that's the end of our session today. Thank you for everyone joining us and everyone watching. I hope you have an amazing day or night. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole, and thank you, Ben. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much for all your support.
Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.